Hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone. We hope you had a great lunch. It is now the time you have all been waiting for, the challenge presentations.
We can't wait to see what all of you put together, but before we start, we would like to give a big thank you to the community department and SDR for putting this innovative challenge together.
Before we get to the presentations, we'd like to let you know who the panel of judges is for today. We have Kalia Constantinidou, Guy Crawford, and Stowe Shoemaker, and one very special judge way in the back, Polina from our community department. So please give a round of applause for our judges. Thank you all for being here today, and you guys are we're very thankful to have you here.
And now, without further ado, please welcome onto the stage the first team.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Josh.
你好，我叫 Ellen。
Xin chào, mình là Hannah.
Bonjour, moi Liania.
大家好，我係 Gretel.
Hello, my name is Addie, and together we make up Team 10. Judges, did you know that in 2023, Santorini welcomed about 2 million visitors? That's great, right? Tourism was booming. Well, actually, that's about 20 times their local population size. Overtourism is straining infrastructure and threatening paradise. With solutions we have today, though, we can maintain the charm of the Greek islands as well as still supporting the local economy.
With tourism being the economic drivers of Greece, accounting for 25% of the GDP, we want to leverage the benefits while dealing with the problems of overtourism. And the issue we found is the over-reliance on international tourists causing seasonal dependency and overcrowding in islands like Santorini and Mykonos, causing exceeding their capacity. And the key challenge we found is for Greece is to manage the influx of visitors, increasing the domestic tourism to account for the seasonal dependency, and also promoting the cultural sites to divert tourists to other destinations within Greece. So what can we do to help Greece tourism? Our approach is to combine technology with sustainability, as these two elements experiencing rapid innovations, which is an ideal space to drive impactful change. Off to you, Hannah.
Yes, we partner up with the OTA and implement a new section in their platform. And you all know that the public in Santorini were pretty upset about the Airbnb causing the housing crisis. But as Robert Voltering, he's from Europe, he's a really great man, he say it's all about perspective. So why didn't we change our perspective? We aim to do the live crowd monitor tracking, so you do not have to wait 1 hour for your favorite spot, and you also develop a dine with the local where you can book and dine in their house and enjoy their local food. And you don't want the local shooting water gun at you for your next time visiting, right, Ellen?
Of course not, please don't. And in the long term, we're aiming to expand smart tourism infrastructures and AI innovation into every part of the Greek island, where personalized travel routes can help redirect the crowd to avoid overcrowding. And AI-powered info hubs will be placed at different destinations to provide real-time tips and cultural insights to make their experiences more immersive.
As we know, overtourism is overwhelming the Greek islands, but by implementing some of these solutions, we can help. Tourism quotas will help cap visitor numbers during peak season to reduce congestions. Ecotourism tax will ensure that international visitors are contributing to conservation. And to rebalance the tourism economy, we recommend domestic incentives to to encourage local travel. For lasting change, we need structural solutions. Cultural heritage will promote tourism beyond beaches. A cultural heritage fund will promote tourism beyond Santorini beaches. And smart infrastructure will help manage visitor flow and reduce environmental strain.
Implementing a tourism council, uniting governments, OTAs, and local businesses will help with long-term sustainability.
Thank you, Anya. Our approach to sustainable tourism in the Greek islands delivers benefits to both international visitors as well as local communities. In the case of international visitors, it brings a more authentic cultural exchange, embracing philoxenia, Greece's deep-rooted tradition of hospitality, as well as expanded travel options and also enhanced safety and crisis management. For residents and local communities, more community-led tourism, as well as stronger infrastructure and public services funded by sustainable tourism revenue, and also year-round employment opportunities, reducing dependability on seasonal tourism. For local businesses and the economy, new tourism niches such as eco-wellness, OTA engagement and incentives, which will allow for platforms who have prioritized sustainability to be prioritized on digital platforms, as well as domestic tourism growth. So we've talked about our solution and its benefits, but what could be some challenges?
Oh, yes, we might face challenges, and one of them would be people might be skeptical about the solution at first, especially when this technology, it takes a lot of money to install in the first place, and it also, and AI, AR, and blockchain, they also take up a lot of economic things to get updated to stay relevant.
And I find this really interesting case about Thailand, where Maya Bay has to close for a year for letting its nature recover. But in contrast, Ban Mae Kampong, they support the local community where they offer homestays and traditional Thai massage. So I think it's really nice. So don't be surprised if you end up bamboo weaving in Thailand.
Yeah, and there you have it. Overtourism will keep the Greek islands beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please give it up for Team 10. Now Team 11, you can come up. Thank you. Thank you. We'll take the mics. Thank you so much. Just pass them. And then just exit this.
You will be in the middle of them, so she finished. And then you guys can go ahead up and then just exit this way. Thank you. On this side. Cool. Yeah, I'll let you go.
Supposed to be here or over there?
Should be on that side.
Oh, sorry.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. We're Group 11. I'm Kaylin. This is Amy, Daniel, Rhiannon, Nigel, and Peyton. Thank you so much for the opportunity for us to present here today. While Barcelona is renowned for its stunning architecture and rich culture, it's also grappling with the consequences of overtourism. Today, we'll explore the causes, consequences, and potential solutions to the overtourism issue in Barcelona. We hope to offer insights that spark some conversations and drive change. So let's get into it. So first, we start with our market analysis of Barcelona. We found some of our strengths to be the cultural and architectural appeal and the strategic position and year-round attraction, with the opportunities being sustainable tourism initiatives, and our weakness of over-tourism and political instability, and then just our threats of pollution and loss of authenticity.
Now, as we delve into the impacts of over-tourism in Barcelona, we've noticed that it causes a rise in costs, environmental impacts such as pollution and water shortages, resident discontent, and overcrowding. Now, we ask ourselves, who are these stakeholders? These stakeholders can be anywhere from hotel, restaurant, and local shop owners. They could also be public administration, such as government and policymakers, and law enforcement, community, and tourists.
Guys, this is all good and well, but what about the solutions, I may ask? There is obviously no perfect answer and no magic wand, definitely, as yesterday we found out. However, whatever the solution may be, it is clear to us that it must be a joint effort, meaning a combination of activities tackling different aspects of this problem. Thus, we choose to use micro lenses and propose a mix of solutions on short-term and long-term basis with the end goal to better the life of the local community. So, how would the short-term solution look like? A mix between zoning and access restrictions, e-tourism, as well as partnering with all frontline stakeholders to implement discounts and attractive events, during off-seasons, and long-term will include building and marketing nearby touristic attractions, create movements on educating tourists on responsible tourism practices, and so on. And impact, yeah, what else? Sorry. Yeah, sure. And the impact, obviously, it's basically reducing strain on resources and creating better living conditions.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. And while I agree with everything you've said, I think we actually need to go beyond just preserving the city, preserving Barcelona. As such, we've come up with a Beyond Barcelona campaign. So it's a global campaign that looks like it's promoting Barcelona, but it's actually directing tourists to other historically lesser known areas nearby. So it's basically the goal is to redirect tourism traffic. And we're going to use the power of social media and celebrity influence to basically implement a clever bait and switch approach. So you can see here we've implemented 5 kind of areas that we can base this campaign on, and it'll basically just ensure that people understand how beautiful and amazing the country and the area really is without everyone landing up in the same city and the same few sites.
So, our recommendation is based on Heidegger's theory of enframing, which suggests that how we perceive the world is actually from social media and mass media. So ethics aside, this is our recommendation. Also, combining with research, we found out that social media, mass media, foreign social media influencers play a big role in shaping people's mind, in shaping people's perspective and how they think of the tourist destination. So we're collaborating with social media influencers, celebrity endorsements, to alter or create another side of Spain, to redirect them not only staying in Barcelona.
And now to bring it back to STR Share Center, why we're up here today, and talk about some consulting strategies that we want to see about over-tourism in Barcelona. So starting with, we want to see them use hotel performance to track occupancy trends. So this can be making sure that we're identifying the key parts of Barcelona that are driving high tourism and therefore trying to combat it and redirect tourists. Then we want to support demand demand management by advising hotels on pricing strategies so we can push off-peak seasons and longer stays. Enhance forecasting tools to help hotels and policymakers anticipate tourism surges and therefore be prepared for occupancies. And lastly, facilitate data sharing to align tourism strategies with hotel market insights. We think STR Share Center plays a big role here in driving sustainable tourism in Barcelona, and we hope that our Beyond Barcelona campaign and all of our strategies today helped you get a better glimpse of over-tourism in Barcelona. Thank you.
Thank you.
You did fucking great.
Bravo.
Team 12, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Team 7, right?
I guess. You go first, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
Thank you. Clicker for the slides.
Thank you. Just this one. Maybe you take this one first.
Okay. Yeah.
Guys, you can overrun for 15 seconds. After that, we'll actually call you off. Okay. 15 seconds.
You go first, then I go second. Now that we work.
Okay. I can also just go at the end here. Go first. I'll go at the end. So.
Ciao ragazzi, I hope we are all good here. We are here to explore and guide you through the tides of tourism and the challenges of Venice. So, I'm Leo.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Tabata.
I'm Omar.
I'm Dimitri.
And I'm Emmy. So let's start with the big picture. Sorry, do we? Oh, yeah, that's our team. Let's start with the big picture. Venice has 6.3 million visitors in just last year, with peaks of over 100,000 visitors per day. That's twice as much as the residents in Venice. Tourism in total generated 1.67 billion euros just in 2022. Now, zooming in, we focused on the 3 different stakeholders: government bodies, local communities, and tourism boards. We believe that through collaboration of all 3 of them, we can ensure an effective and sustainable solution. Our main focus will be on the tourism boards as they promote hotspots, restaurants, and accommodation, and therefore manage the tourism experience. By collaborating with them, we hope to improve the social, environmental, and economic impact of tourism in Venice.
Venice is facing serious over-tourism challenges, and current strategies aim to manage this impact measures like access fees, tourist group limits, cruise ship restrictions, and noise control help regulate visitors' flow. However, there is growing demand for tech-driven solutions. AI-powered travel planning is on the rise. By 83% of travelers prefer personalized experience. Cities worldwide are adopting smart tourism strategies, leveraging user-generated content for engagement.
We are proposing an AI and live technology-powered app called Local Venezia, an app that optimizes travel by managing crowds, streamlining existing policies, offering personalized itineraries, and enhancing local experiences.
So what are our features going to be? We would like to streamline tax payments, push people to download the app, and once they're there, we want to push a hub that has everything from data collection as well as featuring AI-powered itineraries that will tailor to their specific experiences and what they want to see. Live maps that will feature wait times as well as crowd management to be able to know when to go and where to go, as well as user-generated content that will feature a feed with recommendations that will highlight booking promotions to local businesses.
Short term, this reduces congestion, dispersing and redirecting visitor flow, focusing on destination management in tandem with destination marketing. This ultimately increases the local benefit, expanding reach and exposure to local businesses. We want to improve the tourist experience and mold the tourist gaze of the destination through this digital integration.
Long term, we're looking to three main areas: increasing economic benefit, data-informed planning, and sustainable tourism. But really having a focus on improving community prosperity, as well as using AI and technological demand to our advantage.
Moving forward, STI and Local Venezia, it's a winning symbiotic partnership. So why is that? STI contributes to the app and stakeholders by providing validate data on performance, occupancy and pricing of local communities and local businesses, also of confidence in planning and policy decisions for government bodies and for investors, and of course allowing proactive interventions with warning systems and success measurements. On the other hand, the tourism app contributes to STI and stakeholders by providing the real-time tourism behavior, demand management tools, local business amplifying, and others. But even with a significant upfront investment, the high feasibility of this project will guarantee a considerable return for the locals and the Venice, both internal and external stakeholders.
Perfect. Just to wrap up here, guys, we know that over-tourism in Venice possesses a very significant challenges in all the city's cultural, social, and environmental scene. And of course, environmental damages, including stress and pollution in the heritage of Venice, that is the lagoon ecosystem, can further damage its uniqueness of Venice. To address this issue, we need a solution that balances a lot of strategies, and this is exactly what Local Venezia offers. We're also proudly based on the 3 core values of YHS, and we are also sure that done correctly with the right strategy, this could be upscaled to worldwide with a right strategy. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team 12, and let's welcome Team 7 onto the stage.
So 5 minutes countdown, we will have only 15 minutes maximum to overrun, and we'll signal you, and you really have to come back down by then, okay? Perfect. Thank you so much.
In summer, Santorini receives more tourists per day than residents on the whole island. But is this sustainable? This is Group 7, and today we'll talk about overtourism in the Greek islands. This destination is losing the ecological, economic, and social balance. But is it possible to find solutions that allow a more sustainable tourism without affecting negatively the local economy? Today, we'll explore the measures that are already implemented and we'll make a new proposal to alleviate this problem.
Okay, now please let me give you a general idea about the background information and the challenges we're facing in Greek island. So on the one hand, the tourist demand is much more higher than the carrying capacity, which causes a huge pressure of the natural and social environment, especially for Santorini during the peak seasons before and after COVID-19. And at the same time, the tourist satisfaction goes down simultaneously due to a large flow of tourists. And on the other hand, the local community has some feelings of against the tourists to come and visit because they're taking up too much of the public resources, no matter the infrastructures like transportation or the housing problems because of the short-term rental of Airbnb, and that made them feel like they're not parts of the tourism agenda, which caused a huge impact of the long-term development in Great Island. So now let's see what kind of solutions are already implemented currently.
In an impact to combat overtourism, Greece has already limited cruise ship arrivals, as well as increased docking fees and dramatically increased fees per passenger arriving to the most popular of the islands. They've created a climate crisis tax during the peak season, where this revenue goes towards improving the tourist areas, and have increased lodging taxes to help use this money to support local communities. Additionally, they've done a one-year ban on new short-term rentals and are exempting any long-term rentals from paying rental taxes.
Unfortunately, as you can see at the screen, a lot of people still here. So they can arrive in other kind of ways, or even the highly desirable will push them to go there. So what we can suggest is maybe we can guide instead of just block them.
So we would like to show you the current website and app of the Visit Greece website. It is the app by the Greek National Tourism Organization. As you can see, there's a lot of general information of the islands, their activities, suggestions, variety of options as well. However, our proposition is why not innovate? Instead of creating a new app, we would use what is currently in place, encouraging people to use the Greek National Tourism website and app, but showing the different occupancies with real-time data at each location. For example, if you click on Hydra, it will still give you unique experiences. However, it gives you a suggestion that there's a lot of people in Hydra right now, why not visit Syros instead? And here you can click on the information, and there they will give you local communities, tours, and other activities that you can go into. Another suggestion is to have an incentive program, which we call How Blue is Your Wave? So basically, the more of a sustainable traveler you are, the bluer your wave will be. How to do this? To engage more in local communities, doing local activities, and using public transportation, etc. As you can see on the bottom right, there's a little chatbot which will be your friends through your guide in Greece. You can ask him anything regarding the occupancy as well.
So in order for the chatbot to recommend alternative destinations, there should be some touristic attractions in these destinations. So that's why our approach is to encourage investors to go to these less known destinations. Same as for tourists, if they have some advantages, for sure they will be using the application or the website. So the investors, we've talking about realistic incentives, such as subventions, tax reductions, or loan facilities that will help them and encourage them to go to these less known destinations, and then they will create a sort of balance. And for tourists, as you saw earlier, it will be a gamification process. You will have your own profile and avatar, and the more you go to these less known destinations and the more you experience sustainable products or services, the more points you get, and then you can redeem them afterwards. And going to STR, how can it help to implement this solution? Most importantly, data. We believe that in this peak season, we thought about making mandatory reservations, so it will be easy to track this occupancy rate and everything that can be used in the application, so the chatbot will recommend alternative destinations. It will be also good for the locals and the local investments to recommend or to update their services and pricing for the expected demand.
To sum up, as you've seen, there are some good measures that are already being implemented, but the problem persists and calls for innovative approaches, both short and long term. That's why we believe the mobile app we've created could help to transform the issue of overtourism into an opportunity to redirect the future of the Greek islands towards a sustainable destination. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Team 7. The next team will be Team 8.
So nice to see all your faces from up here. Okay. Off the map, a strategy to better manage tourist flows while unveiling the city's hidden gems. This is Kat and I'm Bamboo. We're only 2 people, but our team supported us well with everything, so don't worry.
Thank you, guys.
So we heard a lot about over-tourism, and we had heard big numbers. We know the effects, we know the cause, but in Barcelona, it's not different. They had over 11.7 million visitors annually, with numbers continue rising. And we know while tourism brings economic benefits, it also creates challenges such as environmental strain, overcrowded hotspots, and social tensions with local communities, which we have heard from the other presentations. But we are focusing here on the solutions. So what can we change? We cannot really reinvent the wheels. We wouldn't be here if we could do that. So we are presenting a simple, small solution with little changes, big impacts. So I guess you all heard of this mystery travel, where you just book a trip and find out the destinations at the airport itself. But let's be honest, somehow we still hope it's gonna be the dream destinations we always wanted to go. We are taking away this anxiety and doing about the same, but a bit different. So we know you want to go to Barcelona. You know you want to go in March for about 4 days, and you want to see the tourist attractions, but every person here would like to be in a local environment as well, or somewhere where nobody knows. That's why it's called hidden gems. And without looking over on social media, because we know if we see that on social media, everybody's been there. So we want to, you can select your dates, give your preferences and your informations, and the algorithm will give you an itinerary with a different kind of
And no worries,
program.
if you want to go to La Sagrada Familia, we will take you there, but we will make sure it's at a period of the day that there's not many people.
Exactly. So we want to try to direct the tourists to rural areas with hidden gems. We can direct the tourists to lesser known areas, giving recommendations of attractions which maybe it's not on social media or on Google Maps, but it's still worth having a look at. As well, it can be managed that it can be only visited off-season or to a specific time, or also giving workshops with the local people. With this, we can balance demand throughout the year, and we hope to give the new local business a new boost. Then at the end, with just little actions, we can achieve big results. And we want to have the right tourists at the right time and at the right location. And with our strategy, we want to improve the relationship with the local communities by directing tourists to non-core areas, reducing congestions in hotspots while boosting local businesses and hotel occupancy, and a chance to promote a healthier boundary between local and tourists and keeping the authenticity of Barcelona.
So as she said, little actions, big results, and by no means we're saying that what we're doing is small. So let's talk about the possible effects. We talk about less resident complaints and infrastructure strains if we push them out of the core areas, economic growth in this pushing the boundaries of where tourists usually stay, and this also aligns with Barcelona's 2028 short-term rental ban, that they are trying to get rid of all of the short-term rentals by 2028.
And of course, we have challenges such as trust issues. Not everyone wants a secret adventure, but hopefully the people that we are targeting do. And then long term, we can obviously talk about a sustainable tourist ecosystem, community empowerment and social equality, and maybe we can become a global benchmark about how little actions take us to big places. So where does STR fit in all of this? As Guy said, data, 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 and measurement. It's been a very common topic in the past few days, and it's all about this, being at the right place at the right time with the right people, and also tracking success, making adjustments, and keep it rolling. So by leveraging this data, we can make smarter decisions and a more sustainable decision-making process. Ultimately, helping balance everything out, with demand forecasting, properly distributing, and just taking more sustainable decisions. And community sentiment analysis would be a big one that we would like to develop further. But yes, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ladies. So we already have team 10, 11, 12, 7, and 8 that presented. For the moment, we'll propose a 15-minute bathroom break and also for some time for our judges to condense the idea a bit, and then we'll come back for that. And team 9, if you don't mind, I can give you the briefing already, so when you come back, we can start straight up. Perfect? Number 8.